sequence we're going to do today is a very simple one, so it's normally adjusted for everyone. I am going to, along the way, tell you how you can intensify or simplify the instructions to make sure that it is really fitted for everyone. Okay? So the first thing you do is you stand up straight with your feet hip wide apart.
Can everyone put itself on mute? Except Joyce, of course.
Yeah. Yeah? So the first thing you do is you stand with your feet hip wide apart and you try to really feel the floor beneath you. With that I mean that you try to stand on your entire foot. We always have the tendency to either stand more to the front or more to the back. You really have to stand on your entire feet. And how do you do that? You just kind of wiggle a bit. It's morning, so we can all wiggle a bit. And when you wiggle, you feel that your weight is moving across your feet. And all of a sudden, when you start to feel the middle, that's the soft spot. So that's where you need to land. That's how you need to stand in Tadasana. The pose is called Tadasana. It's called mountain pose. So once you feel that, you try to lift your knees. For the people who don't know what I'm talking about when I say lift your knees, tighten your upper legs. That's the same feeling. And for the women, then we have the tendency to go like this or like this, but really try to keep your sacrum all the way down so you are very straight. Okay, then the next thing we do is actually the hardest part for people who work at the office. It's making sure that your shoulders are next to each other. So you, as if you were squeaking a pencil on your shoulder blades. So your back really goes like this. And it means that your chest opens up. So there's more space in your chest to start with. And that's Tadasana. So that's the normal mountain pose. Okay, so this is where it all starts with a sun salutation. So then when you breathe in, you go all the way up. And when you're up, you try to really lengthen. So you really force your arms, you force your legs, all the sides to really have the energy flooding through your body. For the people who want to intensify this, you can either stand on the tips of your toes. You can close your eyes. If you have a very good balance, you can close your eyes. And for the ones who want to strengthen their arms, they can take something like a Be Better or a piece of paper or a book, and you just do like this, and you force the object between your arms to make sure that you really strengthen the upper arms. So then you're here, and then when you breathe out, you go all the way down. For the people not being able to reach down, it's really important that you do not force yourself. Yoga means that you never force your body, you know the limits of your body, and you respect those. So if you cannot reach all the way down, you again take something, a book or a chair even, to place your hands on to make sure that your back is still relaxed. So you breathe out, and then when you breathe in, you come all the way up again. Okay? So we're gonna do that one more time. You breathe in. When you breathe out, you go all the way down. Does that work for everyone?
Moet wel afstand nemen.
Ja, je moet wel afstand nemen, ja. So, one more time, you breathe in. And you breathe out. Once you're here, on the next breath, you are going to move your left leg all the way behind you to come into a low lunge. As if you were going to start a marathon, you go into a low lunge, you breathe out, and when you breathe in, you come up. But here it's very important to make sure that your knee is on top of your ankle. So don't do this, and don't do that. It's very bad for your feet if you do it. If it is not wide enough, go wider. For the people who really want to stretch this, you can go wider. And then you move your hips to the front. When you breathe in, you go up again. to intensify this one, you can really use the bottle again or the book to press against each other. Or you take your hands and you cross them on your back to open your chest more. This is actually a variation of Warrior 1. So if you want to, within this pose, you can think that you're the best. It's very good for Unilever people to think, I'm the best in this pose. So then you breathe out. And when you breathe out, you go into a high plank. If the plank does not work for you, you can go immediately flat on your tummy. If the plank does work for you, then stay 3 breaths in this plank. And then on the next breathing out, you go all the way down. And when you breathe in, you come into a cobra. In this pose, it's really important that you do not stress your lower back. How do you do that? You do that by tensing your legs. The tighter your legs are, the better it is. Then when you breathe out, you go back again. You breathe in, you stay on your tummy. When you breathe out, you come in a downward facing dog. For the people who cannot put their entire feet on the floor in this downward facing dog, you can lift your heels. If that doesn't help for you, you can also go like this. It has the same movement in your back, so it's as good as a normal downward facing dog. In this pose, you breathe in and you breathe out. And on your next breath in, you come back to the front of your mat. And if you're not on a mat, just take a step like me. And then you stay here. When you breathe in, you come into a flat back position. And you go airplane arms, as if you're gonna fly away. Breathe out, go back down. And when you breathe in, go all the way back up and breathe out. Okay? So that's the full sun salutation. You always need to do that on either side of your body. So now we started with the left. We're gonna now do it with the right. So I'm gonna take you through it on the right side as well. Okay? If anyone has questions, shoot. I'll try to make sure that I hear it. If not, I continue. Okay? So on a breathing in, you go up. Try to really stretch it. When you breathe out, you fold. And you breathe in, you put your right foot behind you. You go into your lunge. You breathe out on this spot. You breathe in. You come into Warrior 1. Make sure that you have the 90-degree angle with your knee on top of your ankle. So you breathe in. And when you breathe out, you go back into your high plank. For the people who do not reach a high plank, go immediately on your tummy. So you breathe out all the way down. You breathe in into the cobra. And you breathe out into a downward facing dog. On your next breath in, you go into the front of your mat. You breathe out in this pose. You breathe in to flat back position. You breathe out, so you go back. And then breathe in. And you come back to your beginning position. Okay? Normally, when you do a regular sun salutation, you do that 16 times. I'm not gonna do it 16 times with you. Because you might feel overwhelmed if we do that, but we are going to do it a couple of times again, and then afterwards I'm going to introduce some exercises to make sure that you compensate for all the stretching and all the back twists you have done. Okay? So bear with me. Breathe in and out. And in, left foot behind. You breathe out in this position. And then breathe in. And you come all the way up. For the people who are capable of doing this, look at your hands and look at the sky. If you're outdoors, it's really nice because you see the sun, but wear sunglasses. And when you breathe out, you place your hands on the floor and you come into a high plank. You breathe in this pose, and then you breathe out and you come slowly to the floor. Breathe in your cobra, and breathe out in a downward facing dog. Breathe in, come all the way to the top of your mat. Breathe out in this pose, and breathe in, come all the way up. And then breathe out. We're immediately gonna go into the next one. So breathe in, breathe out. Now take your right foot behind. Breathe out in this pose. And when you breathe in, you come all the way up. And breathe out. Place your hands on the floor. Come into your high plank. Breathe in this pose. And when you breathe out, you come all the way down. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Breathe in, come to the top of your mat. Breathe out. And you breathe in, all the way up. And then breathe out. Okay? We're gonna do that one more time on each side. And then we're gonna compensate. Everybody is still there? Is still clear on everything? Okay.
Yep.
So you breathe in. Make sure that your feet stay hip wide apart. And I know that it's really a lot where you need to focus on. But try to focus on one thing. The other things will follow the more you do these exercises. Okay, so try to stand on your 2 feet. Breathe in. Go up. Breathe out. And breathe in. Take your left foot behind you in a high lunge. Breathe out in this spot. Breathe in into warrior 1. Breathe out. Come into your high plank. Breathe in this plank. Breathe out. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Breathe in, fold. Breathe out in this spot. Breathe in, flat back position with airplane arms. Breathe out. And breathe in, come all the way up. We immediately go to the other side. So breathe in, out, come all the way down. Breathe in, take your right foot behind you. Breathe out in this position. Breathe in. And then out to the floor. Come into your high plank. Breathe in this pose. And then out, come all the way down. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out in your downward facing dog. Breathe in, come to the front of your mat. Breathe out in this spot. Breathe in, all the way up, and breathe out. All right, good job. Well, I can't see any of you, but good job anyway. Next thing we're gonna do is making sure that our shoulders are relaxed for the day. It's quite an easy one. First off, we are gonna take something, or imagine that you have something in your hands, like for instance a beach ball. You have something like that. You can breathe in, you put it in front of you, make sure that you really see it, and then you put your shoulders all the way to the back. Really stress that, so the shoulders move like this, like that. Your chest opens and you hold on to that movement in your shoulders, and you go up when you breathe in. You're gonna notice that your shoulders do this, so they come up again. Try to push them back down again. And when you breathe in, you stay here. And when you breathe out, you're gonna pump your hips to the other side. Breathe in, come back to the middle. Breathe out, go to the other side. Breathe in and out. We're gonna do that a couple of times. Breathe in and out. In and out. In, and then when you're done, come out. And you try not to fidget. It's no problem that your t-shirt isn't picture perfect. No one can see it anyway, but try to feel what is happening in your body. Try not to touch your hair or your clothes, but really feel that your blood is flowing. And then on the next inhale, we're gonna move our shoulders up, all the way up, 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 until we cannot breathe in again. We kind of hold our breath when we're on the top, and then we breathe out, and we let everything go. Gonna do that again. Breathe in, go up, 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 up. Stay up. Try to hold your breath until you really feel the urge to breathe out. Then you breathe out and you let everything go. Again. And out. Again. And out. Okay, then we're gonna roll our shoulders. First to the front. Just a couple of times. Try to keep breathing. Always focus on breathing. And then turn the other side. Okay, and then on the next breathing in, we're gonna act, or this exercise is going to act as if you were on a chair without actually being on a chair. So bear with me. What happens? You put your feet hip width apart again. You breathe in. You do the same as we did in the beginning. And then when you breathe out, you sit. When you breathe in, you stretch your back. And when you breathe out, you sit even lower. And you go as low as you can possibly go without falling down. If it doesn't work for you, then just really sit on a chair and just do the arm movement. Now breathe in and out 3 times on your own pace. And on your next breath in, you come all the way up and you breathe out. Okay, we're going to do that one again. So we breathe in and we breathe out. Breathe in and out. See how far you can go. The people who are used to doing yoga can ultimately come into a frog position and keep sitting here. When you breathe in, you stretch your back. When you breathe out, you roll up. Same as in cat-cow position. So here as well, take 3 breaths and then come all the way up. Okay, you're doing really well. And for the last part of the session, we are going to sit down. Just make sure that you're in a comfortable seat. Don't try to force a lotus position or even a cross-legged position. If that doesn't work for you, it doesn't work. If you want to sit on your knees, then sit on your knees. If you want to sit in a chair, then please do that. Never cross your own boundaries when you're on your yoga mat. It kind of reflects who you are in real life. So try to focus on that. Try to stay true to who you are. No one is watching anyway, so stay true. So sit down. Try to make sure that you have a straight back in this position. If it doesn't work for you to have a straight back just regularly, then go and sit against a wall. That's the easiest way to do it. Then on the next inhale, we are going to go all the way up, same as we did in the beginning of the session. We're going to put our shoulders down as much as we can. And then when we breathe out, we're going to go horizontally. Yeah. We breathe in, we stay here. When we breathe out, we are going to look to the right. Try to look to your middle finger. Focus on your shoulders. When you breathe in, come back to the middle. When you breathe out, go to the other side. Breathe in to the middle. Breathe out to the other side. Repeat that a couple of times. If you feel that your arms are getting tired, it's good. When it hurts, it's not good. So then you stop. And you wait for the other exercise, for the next exercise. When you feel like your arms are going down, try to keep them really up. It's actually a seated version of a warrior 2. So it's a position to give you mental strength, which is kind of crucial in the times we are facing now. Your next inhale, come to the middle. You breathe out. When you breathe in, you go up. And then when you breathe out, you put you make a fist. You put your flat hands in your neck, like this. And then you try to roll your neck. Don't push it. Don't start pulling your head or doing anything. Really just rest your hands in your neck and look down. When you breathe in, you go up again and stretch your elbows. Keep your flat back position. Breathe out and go back. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, let everything go. Come back straight. We are going to do that one more time, but we are first going to work with our neck. So what you do now is you take one hand, cross it to the other side. So your right arm goes to the left. Your left arm goes over your right arm. You breathe in. You again try to put your shoulders down. And when you breathe out, you look the other way. When you feel an inhale coming, you keep here, you stay here. When you breathe out, you try to look a bit further. If that doesn't work, then stay where you are. On your next breath in, you come back, you breathe out. When you breathe in, you change and you go to the other side. And you breathe out. You're gonna feel that there's a big difference between left and right. We all have it, it's not a problem. When you breathe in, you come back. On your next breath in, you're gonna look up to the sky, see how beautiful the sun is. And when you breathe out, you look to the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And you're gonna make small circles with your nose. First one side. Keep breathing. Then change the side. Don't be distracted by bagel. When you're done, you come back to the middle. And then you breathe in. You go up again, you stretch really hard. You push your sit bone into the floor. You push your shoulders all the way down as much as you can. And then you breathe out. Put your hands in front of your heart. Your head down. And try to think about something you really want to focus on this week for yourself. Close your eyes and think about that, even if it's just a word or something you want to do for yourself. When you breathe in, you look back up. Namaste. You had your first yoga class. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Joy. Thank you.
Thank you. Really